The NFL draft is just under, give or take, a month away from getting here. If, like me, you are very much excited for it, then like the video right now. Let's begin with some draft rumors. Tom Pelissero of NFL Network reporting other NFL teams think the Commanders could end up taking JJ McCarthy with the number 2 overall pick, the Michigan quarterback. When that would be something. Here was the reporting from greatly named Pelissero. Get it, Tom? Anyway, it'll be really interesting because everyone's always trying to figure out at the top of the draft what the other teams are doing. When I've had conversations here with executives for other teams who know Adam Peters well, who know the situation well, the most popular answer for what they do at number 2 is JJ McCarthy. So a lot of drama still to come. This would be something, man. And not really in a good way. You can go back and wind the tape back in terms of like where we were with our end of regular season mock drafts. We were fairly high on McCarthy. He was pretty consistently in our top 15, in our top 10s even at times, in the first round at minimum, even back to like October and stuff. Like we knew there was going to be buzz on McCarthy. But number 2 overall in this draft class with this quarterback class, I don't know about that one there, Jim. McCarthy does some good things. He doesn't turn the ball over very much. He has the athletic ability. He has the arm strength. I think he would fit very well in a Shanahan-McVay style offense. But I can't justify taking him over a Drake May, over a Jaden Daniels. Those guys had better production. I think they're better quarterback prospects. They offer better things. We've seen them be challenged more to carry a team that J.J. McCarthy hasn't. I know he's going to impress teams. I think he's going to go top 10. But I can't get on board with him going number 2 overall. That's not, I have as a second-round grade. I think it's higher than some people. Not the highest on him, not the lowest on him. In general, I would also always be very cautious about trusting the guesses of other teams' executives. That can get you into trouble. They're not always right. Because they don't know, because Adam Peters is not telling them what he's going to do at number 2 overall. And I wonder, are we going too far into Adam Peters comes from the Shanahan-style offense. That was the assistant GM, not assistant, but whatever. And, Shanahan, McCarthy I think fits very well in a Shanahan-McVay-style offense. I think he's very good in that area, throws in the middle field, etc. When that Daniels does not. Doesn't throw left very well, by the way. That's a different conversation. Are we, typecasting him because Peters was in San Francisco? It's kind of weird to me. I don't buy it. I think it'd be a mistake by Washington. Could work out, but with the information we know, I think it'd be a big mistake. So do you think that J.J. McCarthy goes number 2 overall? Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on this video. That ad plays on YouTube. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Go vote instead. Let's go to Zach Wilson. There had been some, let's call it what it was, fictional reports of Niners being close to a Wilson trade. They never actually were. And ESPN reporting the Wilson options are thinning, and in the end, he just might want to be cut. Here's what Rich Cimini I think that's how it's pronounced, of ESPN reported. The potential landing spots for quarterback Zach Wilson are dwindling. Only team with a viable QB2 opening is the Chiefs, who have Chris Oladokun and Ian Book backing up Patrick Mahomes. Maybe Wilson can snag a QB3 spot somewhere. As of Friday, 9 teams had only 2 quarterbacks. Wilson has permission to speak teams about a trade, but his salary, guaranteed $5.5 million, is a deterrent. Not to mention his checkered body of work. He's probably hoping for his release so he can find a job with no strings attached. It'll be interesting to see how long the Jets hold out hope for a trade. I don't think Wilson's value was ever high. You were hoping for a 6th-round pick or a 7th-round pick or something because he's expensive. With 1 year of team control at $5.5 million, that's not something teams want to pay him. That's at least double what I think he'd command in the free agency market because despite the draft pedigree, Wilson has never been a good NFL quarterback. The trick shot stuff the out-of-structure stuff is valuable. However, You have to have the ability to handle things in structure as well. You can't only be the scramble around, make stuff happen out of the pocket quarterback. You have to be able to operate within the game plan. And I don't think Wilson's done that very well. Injuries have reared their head. Confidence has been a problem. And just bad decision-making as well. So where do you think Zach Wilson will play in 2024? Get your predictions in for me in the comments. Now, whatever team you're a fan of, you should be using GameTime to get tickets to your next sporting event or concert, theater, comedy, and even more. GameTime is the place to get whatever last-minute ticket you're trying to get and get the best deal in the process. They have stuff like flash deals, sponsored deals, and even zone deals. I love the zone deal. You don't always find them. Not always super available, but when they are, it's a no-brainer for me. You pick the section. GameTime picks the seats for big-time savings. On average, around 18%. I've seen even higher because that's the average, by the way. So download the GameTime app, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. That is a new promo code, by the way. CHATSPORTS, ChatSports, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms and conditions, of course, do apply, but download GameTime today for the lowest price guaranteed. The GameTime guarantee means you'll always get the best price. Tickets in the same section and row for less, GameTime will credit you 110% of the difference. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. The latest now on Jadeveon Clowney. He is one of the top free agents left, with several teams in the mix, reportedly. It's not like there's a great batch of free agents left out there anyway. I mean, you saw the news of Cordell Patterson signed. He got like $3 million, hyped as like one of the best names left for, $3 million. The three teams that have been linked per different reports, by the way, on Clowney: the Panthers, the Jets, and the Ravens. All the local guys from those beats saying that they're in the mix there. And then all kind of summed up by Jordan Schultz. Following Clowney's visit with the Jets, he and the team have remained in constant contact with once describing New York as highly motivated to try and secure a deal with Clowney. After the Panthers, Ravens, and him as well after his 9.5 sack season in Baltimore. That went out on Monday, I believe. Ignore the date there. I didn't change it. The last 4 years, inconsistent play from Clowney has always been a red flag. He kind of burnt some bridges down the stretch in 2022 in Cleveland. Managed to rebuild them this past season with the Baltimore Ravens. Wasn't good in Tennessee. He might wait a little bit. Wouldn't be the first time Clowney's waited closer to camp to potentially sign. So in the end, he might want to wait until after the draft too. You're in that range where maybe the player thinks he can, A, have security in his role and not be, forced out by a young guy, and maybe even command a little bit more money in the process by waiting. Now, we will have NFL videos for you all off-season long, so do not miss out. Hit that sub button for me right now here on YouTube. NFL's announced several rule changes. We'll break down a couple of those here, some of the more notable ones. The hip drop tackle has been outlawed. Specifically, I think, the swivel, where you're kind of coming from behind and you kind of flip your legs around and land on the runner's legs and kind of use your momentum to pull them back and land awkwardly. Give me your one-word reaction to the banning here, because I am anxious about this. I don't trust the refs to call it right, and there's already uncertainty in terms of what tackles are outlawed. The NFL never showed the Logan Wilson tackle on Mark Andrews as an example, because it might not be actually an example. The Bengals said it wasn't per the rule of the law. NFL said, well, actually, maybe it is. So a lot of uncertainty, and I don't trust the officials to call that correctly. I am down to make the game safer. I don't trust the refs to not screw that up in a pivotal moment in the regular season or worse in the postseason. The other big change is more of an XFL-style kickoff. So A, should result in more returns, making the kick return game great again. Also will lead to less impact collisions because the two sides are starting much closer, and they can't move till the receiver or return man catches it. So I think that's going to end up being a positive thing, as weird as it's going to look, and will take some time getting used to. The trade deadline is going to go back 1 week. I wish it was more, but progress. By the way, same day as Election Day, which is going to be pretty interesting. They will add a replay review for grounding. I think this is specifically to avoid the, I think it was an Allen throw. Like, there's no one near Josh Allen. He throws a fade route. The receiver snaps it off early, and it was a miscommunication. They threw a grounding flag. It was not grounding. It was not the intent of it. I think you can avoid that there. Of note, the emergency third quarterback can now come from the practice squad. So last year you saw all these teams carrying 3 QBs. I think you will see it drop back down to 2 and have 1 come from the practice squad. And a move I hate, not 1 but 2 actually, Wednesday, Christmas Day games. So unless the NFL goes really weird with their bye weeks and puts a bye week, in mid-December or late December even, you are going to have teams play 4 teams play 3 games in 11 days. The NFL cannot sit there and say we care about player safety and do shit like that. I hate that. I hate that. That's going to lead to more injuries, short term and longer term, as the hits compile on the body. It's just greed. You can have a day without a Christmas Day game. It's fine. I know it'll be popular. Well, we'll watch it. I just hope my team does not play, because that's a bad idea for the health of these players unless they add the extra week, and it's also going to cause issues for fantasy football again too, because the timing doesn't quite match if they're trying to avoid the Week 18 championship games already.